Yeah. I was gonna try my kids' earphones and mic, but it's a little muffly. But I thought it was kind of cute.
Yeah.
That's so cute, Shannon. Oh my god, it looks like cat ears.
Cat ears, yeah, that was their. And they had the gaming mic and everything. But I tried it today on a phone call. But I like the sound going directly into my ear as opposed to around my ear. So it was too muffly for me. But it was cute.
Perfect. And Talia, are you on the TTC or something?
Yeah. On the bus.
My girl
Hi, Alice.
is giving me a hug. Hi, baby. Want to say hi to Tia Talia?
Hello.
Hi.
She's like, I don't remember you.
I have pictures, all my pictures of Romy especially. Seneca was more like in your face, but Romy, every photograph is this.
Yeah.
The pictures of her in Florida. I'm like, see what a nasty little, you know what you were?
So funny.
But,
They're so funny. And then you've got these like family portraits where everyone's posing and the one kid is like,
don't look at me.
Alice is so funny because she'll do that and she'll wreck like every family portrait, but then at random she's like, Mom, let's go pose by this fountain, and she does this like cheese. Super sweet.
That's so funny.
Cool. I wanted to say we have I should start memorizing your guys' phone numbers by now. We've got 2 people calling in, so I'm just gonna say who I see and you can let me know who that is. I see 905-336-6116.
That's Marley.
Marley.
Hi.
Okay, I'm going to remember 6116 is Marley. And then we've got 647-389-0815.
It's me, Christine.
Yay! I'm so glad you could join us, Christine.
Yeah, I like somehow manipulated an earlier shift and like got home in time, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm committing. We're gonna get on the call.
That's awesome. I know, because we were unable to get you on Tuesday, I think it was.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm so glad that you guys could all join us. That's awesome. And I'm sure some more people will kind of trickle in as we chat. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
Here.
Awesome. I want to start off the call by sharing with you one of my favorite charities that I just donated to, and I donate on behalf of Divine Life. Shannon and I were doing a bunch of research to see if we can find like a really awesome charity that we can kind of partner up with, donate to. We're still looking. Like, I'm looking for something that's kind of in line with nutrition and health, possibly even like empowering women around those matters. We haven't quite found what we're looking for, but I do want to share that so far I donate on behalf of each person that joins to a charity called Operation Smile. And I think I just heard Talia's thing. I think I just heard your TV.
Do you want me to put on mute? I don't know how to do
All
that.
good. Yeah, I want to tell you guys about Operation Smile, and then we'll dive into the Q&A. A couple years ago, I was hosting a TV show called Health Matters in Peel region, and I had a surgeon on as one of my guests. And I remember at the time, a lot of people in the holistic community were like, oh my God, why would you have a surgeon on your TV show about holistic health? And I was like, you know what? I think that people have misconceptions about surgeons and what they do. And that's exactly what he came and talked about. He was like, you know, people think plastic surgery, they think of Michael Jackson and like getting 50 nose jobs, and women with addictions to it who keep getting like boob jobs and butt lifts. And not that that stuff's not important too. Like, I have quite a few women in my family who are breast cancer survivors, and they've had breast reconstruction thanks to plastic surgery. But what he shared with me is that he does volunteer work for a really awesome charity called Operation Smile. And what they do is they go to underprivileged third world countries where cleft lip and cleft palate are very prevalent. So these kids have folate deficiencies or folate absorption problems, and they're malnourished. And so they're born without the ability to breastfeed in a lot of cases. Some will die because of that. I don't know if you guys know what a cleft lip and a cleft palate is, but it's essentially where the midline of the body didn't fuse properly. So they have these holes in their palate and their lips, and they can't swallow properly. They have facial deformities. They're often made fun of. Some of them die, like I said, because of the deformity, because they can't even breastfeed. So it's really, really sad. But this surgeon was telling me, he's like, you know what, a bunch of us, like plastic surgeons, go and volunteer our time for absolutely free and go repair these children's cleft lips and cleft palates and give them a new lease on life. And so that's what I really liked about the charity, is like, it's only $250 USD to get one child a complete surgery. And the surgeons all volunteer their time. The cost is simply the cost of medical supplies to get down there. So I just made a donation in our name and Divine Life Health Coaching Inc.'s name. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, because I'm really, really proud of what they do. A lot of the proceeds go to the surgeries itself. There's not a lot of people up in the corporate center getting paid, which is a big problem with the bigger companies. And I just wanted to share that with you guys, because I'm super proud of that organization, and I love contributing to them. So just know that your participation in Divine Life is helping heal quite a few children around the world who are getting a whole new lease on life. That's what I wanted to share.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I super love them. Actually, Christine, you could appreciate charities too, because I know
Yeah.
when we were working at Lush, Lush donates to a lot of charities, and they're very specific about who they donate to and making sure that they donate, that the money goes to actual use and not just like lining somebody's pockets.
Yeah, they've made it even more strict now, where before we could do donations from in store to any charity of our choice. Now it's really lined up with just it's all through head office and streamlined through like that, making sure that it's going through worthy causes and everything. And it's all staying grassroots.
I love that. I love the whole grassroots aspect. So yes, I think it's near and dear to a lot of our hearts. So I figured I would share that with you guys. So on that topic, I'm enjoying my delicious dark chocolate. Who has some questions to start us off? Or it could be questions or progress or feedback or commentary, really whatever you guys have at this point.
I have a question about tomorrow night. I'm going to a friend's house for dinner, and I'm planning to bring my own food. I talked to her about it, but the problem is they're probably not going to eat dinner till at least 8 o'clock, maybe later. Any suggestions as to what I should do? I know I'll be like really hungry by 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know I used to go to my mom's house for dinner, and she wouldn't serve dinner till like 7:38, and I was eating every 3 hours on the HCG protocol the first time, and I would be so hangry when she did that. So I can totally see how you might feel that way too, Marley. So
would I be best to just eat before I go, and then maybe have a snack with them, like my fruit, while they eat their dinner, or maybe a cup of the low broth bouillon or something like that, just so I'm not just sitting there like a dummy.
Or you could try having the fruit right before, or the snack, like even the broth right before, just to give your stomach some distension, because at least if you're causing your stomach to stretch, you'll temporarily feel full. Once the broth drains, you'll feel hungry again, but that should buy you some time. So you could do that beforehand as well, if you want to feel more normal and eat like normal foods with them.
Okay.
You could try that. The other thing you could try is pushing your first meal of the day later. So sometimes what I would even do is kind of like a steak day, and I'm sure Amy's told you about these, but where you don't eat any food until much later in the day. So you might want to have your first meal at like 5 o'clock even. And then when you go to their place, you'll eat again at like 8. So you'll have to kind of feel that out though and see how your body responds.
Experiment, yeah.
Very ravenous.
Yeah, I'm finding that I'm fine. I can push my lunch till about 1:30, but then after I eat my lunch, I don't know, I seem to go into a bit of a not feeling great. It's like the lunch wasn't enough.
And
it hasn't happened every day, but a few days that's happened. And then I sort of get over it, and then I'm fine all evening and all during the night and everything.
Yeah, that's a really common thing that we see.
Okay.
How do you describe not feeling? I forget what the word that you used. How do you describe how
Well,
you feel?
this afternoon it was just sort of lethargy, like, whereas other days I've had lots of energy the whole day, and I've felt just, yeah, fatigue kind of this afternoon.
Hmm.
And I was fine up until I ate the lunch.
Hmm. And then how long did it last?
Today I'm still not 100%. Yeah.
Okay. And do you feel like foggy at all? Like does your mind
Yeah,
feel foggy?
a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
And this is the first time I have felt like that since I started the protocol. The fogginess, and just I feel like I could just lie down for a while, and I haven't felt that until today.
Mm-hmm. And this is which day of the protocol is this for you? This is almost like day, I want to say 7 or 8, or is this closer to day
It's
10?
10 since like the very beginning.
Since the
day
very
10.
beginning. Okay, yeah. So day 10, and then it's the 7th day of like low cal eating.
No, it's 10 like right from when I started the fat loading.
Right. Okay, perfect. So day 10 from fat loading. Yeah, what's not uncommon, Marley, and I know we'll have to work with you through this too, is to get a bit of a detox reaction, usually between week 1 and 2. So I talk about
Yeah,
it
I would describe it as that. Exactly, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I remember Cassandra going through this too, and I went through this too, sometime between weeks 1 and 2, and you kind of pass through the eye of the needle, and you feel a little bit kind of groggy, slower, less lethargic, like you said. For me, I felt like thick, like I felt like my head was, I don't know, just like very foggy and slow. Taking it easy as much as you can helps. The other thing that helps is making sure you're going to the washroom often. Do you find you're going on a daily basis?
Yeah, no, I'm okay. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I find that I'm peeing really a lot.
Yeah. We call it peeing
I
out
know.
the fat.
No, my bowels have been fine.
Okay, good. That's really good. The other thing that can help is if you can work up a sweat somehow. Like my preferred way would be a sauna or a steam room.
Oh, really?
Or even like a hot shower. If you could just sit in the shower, make it really steamy, and allow your body temperature to elevate, because when your temperature is almost borderline feverish, which is what that artificial heat environment creates, your enzymes function better at removing debris from the bloodstream. That's why we get fevers when we're sick, because it helps our immune system
right.
better.
Okay, I'll try that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little on the cold side too. Like I keep thinking, oh, is the house colder than usual?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so yeah, you might be going through a bit of a detox.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. But otherwise, everything's great.
I'm so glad. And you know what? You're going to even get another burst of energy once the detox period passes too. So I would guesstimate within a couple of days tops, and you'll be feeling even more energized.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
And I did try soup this afternoon. And that,
you tried soup?
Yeah, like just the bouillon.
Yes. How did that go?
Yeah, that felt good. It warmed me up. It was, yeah.
Shannon's typing in the chat box to consider maybe some extra sea salts. So you could even try putting like sea salt under your tongue, or adding even a bit of sea salt in addition to the broth.
Oh, okay.
That can help too. Have you had your chat with Shannon yet?
No, it's Monday.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, she'll touch base with you some more then. If you're finding that the detoxy feelings are still not alleviating within a couple of days, just reach out to me through message, and I'll give you some additional pointers if we need to do that. But I think you'll pass through it, okay?
Good.
But just keep us posted.
Okay, thanks.
No problem. So that sounds really good.
And I've lost 4 pounds since the beginning.
Wow. And that's in addition to, I think you gained like 6.6?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's down from like my very first day. It's 4 pounds down. Like today, I was a whole pound down.
Wow. And I mean, when you really think about what your body just did, I mean, you put on 6.6 pounds in 3 days, and then you went to work taking off 10 pounds in 7 days, which is quite a good job.
Yeah, so I guess it's not surprising that I'm having a bit of a reaction, yeah.
Yeah, you got it. Because in our fat, we store up fat-soluble toxins too. So you're going to work flushing all that out. And inside of the HCG injections, there's also 3 amino acids called methionine, inositol, and choline, and B12.
Oh, okay,
that's
good.
going to help your liver to flush those fat toxins a bit faster.
Good.
Yeah. And people are saying congrats. Catherine's telling you congrats on the chat box.
Thank you.
That's awesome. So yeah, it sounds like you're on a perfect trajectory so far, Marley. Just note that the first week has the biggest losses, and then you're going to get into your own pattern, which typically looks like, for most women, it's like a loss, and then a bit of a smaller loss. So it's like a stepwise pattern.
Okay.
You'll find whatever yours is. Some people have a straight trajectory where it's like a pound every day or half a pound every day. But you'll quickly discover next week what your pattern is, and it's going to stay fairly constant for your entire rest of your protocol.
Okay.
Where you're at right now is perfect.
Good.
Good stuff. Do you have any other questions, Marley?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, perfect. So you'll have to let us know how this dinner goes then.
Yeah, they know a little bit about it. Of course, they said, oh, well, you can have salmon. We're having salmon. And I actually had to make, this was hard too, I had to make dessert for everyone tomorrow night.
Wow.
So, I mean, I'm so tempted to lick my fingers.
I remember Shannon went through that. She was telling us about that too. That's a tough one. Good on you.
Yeah.
And even over the Christmas holidays, a lot of like Catherine had to do that too, like make cookies for her daughter's school, and you can't touch any of it. So it's a pretty big challenge. So congrats on that. Awesome. Okay, cool. Well, yes, definitely keep us posted, and we're rooting for you for that dinner.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. All right, and I noticed we also got joining the call, we've got Sophia joined in, we've got Laura joined in, and we got Catherine. So hello to all of you guys. And I want to ask, is there anybody else that has a pressing question or something cool they want to share? Anything at all, really.
It's not too pressing, but I had a quick question. This morning when I woke up and weighed myself, for the first time since I've been on the protocol, I went up like a really little amount, but I'm just wondering, is that normal?
Did you have anything different yesterday?
Not really. Like I checked, and it was I've had those meals before, but it was probably the closest I've gotten to like 500 calories.
Okay, so maybe a bit more calories, you're saying? Okay. And what were you eating exactly?
I wrote it down. I know for dinner I had steak and broccoli because I was starving for some reason. And then for lunch, I'm like pretty sure I had cabbage and shrimp.
Okay, cabbage.
And then my snacks were blueberries and, oh my God, what was my other snack yesterday? I'm trying to, I think it may have been a green apple. Yeah, it was a green apple.
Yeah, that sounds pretty solid. And do you ever react to broccoli or cabbage? Like, do you ever get bloating with those things or gassiness?
Not that I noticed. I mean, I've been pretty like burpy since I've been on the protocol, but I didn't feel anything weird after, or I wasn't in any pain or anything.
Okay.
And I thought I was gonna lose because I had 2 days where I like didn't go, and then I went yesterday. I was like, yes, tomorrow morning's gonna be awesome. And then it wasn't. And I was like, it was a tiny little jump, but I was just wondering.
And how much are we talking did you gain?
Like 0.2 pounds.
Yeah, so that's okay. That's not, I wouldn't be super concerned right off the bat, but just looking at troubleshooting it, are you closer to your period at all?
It's the next week, but I'm still on the pill, so like I don't know if that still does things.
Okay, so if you're still on that, and I know it is the full moon, or it was the full moon, so we're more likely to retain water. So it could be there's a potential connection there. But I would try to. So today is already over pretty much, but tomorrow just make sure you don't have broccoli or cabbage. Try some different veggies.
Cool.
Because those ones can be correlated with some issues with digestion for some people. What I'll say is that under the surface you're burning fat for sure. Like that's not a question in my mind, but it's like the water retention is covering it. And if you have a bit of the broth, that too will make it look like you aren't losing weight on the scale, or it'll make it look like you gain a little bit. But then that's
okay, which I haven't had yet, but
okay. Yeah, so if you have that like today or tomorrow, you'll notice that retention. Yeah, I wouldn't be super worried about point 2. Your pattern, and a lot of the ladies can attest to this. A lot of us have this annoying pattern. It's like the stepwise one I was talking about, where you'll either see like the same weight and then a dip, or even like same weight, slight gain, and then a dip, meaning like, and I'm talking about day 1, 2, 3. And so that
cool.
repeat throughout the whole time you're on the HCG. So that might be what you're dealing with too. And if so, you're going to find out quickly that that's your pattern, and then you won't be so surprised when you see these like tiny little gains, because then you're going to have a day where a lot comes off, like a half a pound or 1 pound or even 1.5.
Awesome.
Yeah, I would look for that. And then I was going to say on your MyFitnessPal, make sure to make your diary viewable to friends so that I can see it.
Oh, I thought I did.
I thought so too, but now when I'm in your thing, I can't look at it. So no worries on that. We'll reach out to you too if you need help with how to do that. But yeah, that way I can kind of spy on what you're eating.
Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to see it now. Yeah, I'm just like, show diary insight. Would that be it? Or diary sharing?
Yeah, diary sharing.
There we go. Okay, I think you're good now.
Cool. Let me check. I'm just going to refresh. Yeah, perfect. You did it.
Awesome.
Yeah, okay. So I see everything you're having today. Got some grapefruit, good stuff. And then, yeah, I see your food yesterday. Yeah, steak is a good one to include in there.
Is it? Okay, I was really worried because I love steak. So for me, it's like, that's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah, it's the best. No, it's really good. And if you've never tried a steak day yet, right?
I haven't. No, not yet. I'm really intrigued. I have so many questions.
Yeah, so I was going to say, if you're finding, if this ever becomes like an ongoing issue where you're starting to get like the 0.2 gains over a few days and you want to nip it in the bud, we could definitely do a steak day. So that would look like not eating anything until dinner time, and then having up to 200 grams of steak and up to 200 grams of tomato.
Cool.
So yeah, that's one potential option. But yeah, I would say let's check in tomorrow and see what your weight's like over tomorrow and even Saturday, and we'll be looking for it to create a dip in those 2 days, but I wouldn't be super worried over the 0.2.
Okay, awesome. I thought it might have been because of like bowel movements, because I've been like on and off going.
And
I've been taking magnesium bisglycinate, but then sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, and I think Shannon was thinking maybe citrate might work better for you too right now. I don't know if she talked to you about that.
Yeah, she mentioned that.
Yeah, so we might actually end up switching you to more of citrate, which will flush you a little bit more. So she'll send you an email about that and what kind of doses to take.
Awesome.
Yeah, it could have been that too. I think we'll kind of hack away and see what's what and see if it budges in the next couple of days. But the other thing I would do, Christine, is measure your waistline and measure your hips and see if you're going down in centimeters. Because even if you're not losing fat on the scale, you should see the centimeters coming down.
Okay, cool. I will. Thank you.
Exciting. Okay, cool.
I did get my first compliment today because not a lot of people know. And one of my coworkers who hasn't seen me in a week came in. She's like, "Oh my God, you look amazing." I was like, "I know what you're talking about. Bye."
Did you feel
Pardon?
Did you feel awkward?
Yeah, it was just so weird. I was like, "What? What do you? No, okay, I have to go home. I have to bus. Bye." Like it was just so like I wasn't expecting it, and like I feel bad because she's on a weight loss journey of her own too. Like, but she's like doing it all herself. And I'm just like, feel like I told her, I was like, "You look freaking amazing," because she's been going to the gym every day and everything. But yeah, it was just like,
I wonder what it was. Like, did she notice a glow about you, or did she notice, like, were you holding yourself differently?
But she was like, "Your apron fits differently." I'm like, "What? What does that even mean?"
That's awesome. Hey, that's pretty
Yeah.
awesome to already have your first compliment. That's great.
Thanks.
Keep track of those things. You know, a really cool activity that my coach makes me do that I'm definitely still not as good at it as I should be. He makes me record my wins. So I have a whole section of my binder that's just called wins. And I have to write down, I don't do it well enough is what I mean, because I still don't write everything down. But anything like that, Christine, he says write that down as a win so that you can actually go back over your list of wins and be like, "Oh my God, yeah, remember the time someone complimented me on how my apron fit?" And it could be a log of all kinds of wins, like about the way you feel, the way you look, compliments people tell you. For me, it's a lot to do with career stuff, so you can add that in. But that's really cool if you're ever, I don't want to say feeling down about yourself, but as women, our tendency is to focus on negative aspects and critical aspects about ourselves. And we magnify that, and then we downplay all the good stuff that is happening for us or to us or that we've achieved. So it's always good to have a wins list to refer back to sort of put things back into perspective. Does that make sense, Christine?
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I'm already in my head. I'm like, yes, bullet journal tonight. Start that. That's awesome.
Yes, please create a whole section in your journal, I would love for you to share them too if you can. You can post a few.
Yeah, for sure. I
And for all of
actually
you
had a
guys
question
listening-
that kind of aligns with that, if that's okay. Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say for the rest of everybody on the call too, definitely start recording your wins in a win journal or a win list.
Good idea.
I'm sorry, what was your question that aligns with it?
So I have been craving very, very bad foods, and I've noticed that I've started thinking like, oh, when I'm like done this program, I can have this and I can have that, and I'm trying to think of a better way for me to verbiage it in my head, where instead of saying that, I can be like more focused in the moment and what I'm doing and how amazing this is, rather than thinking like at the end I can eat all this really bad stuff eventually at some point. But I don't know, like I just can't make the connect in my head to know what I should be saying instead.
Yeah, it sounds
Does
like
that
you're
make
looking for like how to frame it that would be more empowering instead of focusing on the food you're going to eat at the end. Am I kind of capturing it?
Yeah, I was gonna rewatch one of the modules where you talk about like the reframe, but I was wondering if you had any more insight you could share today too.
Yeah, that's such a good one. That's such a good one because the first time that when I did my first round of HCG, that was exactly how I operated. Was I was dying to eat like white sugar, refined grain products. Like I was dying for like a croissant or a bagel or like a cupcake or something. And I really fixated and focused on it a lot, which I later came to learn is also a mark of food addiction. So,
which makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be that, Christine. It could be a little bit of that. And if that's the case, if it's a food addiction, they're going to kind of yell out at you like that because you're rewiring your brain chemistry, and it takes 21 days off of the addictive agent to finally see it for what it is. And even then, it's still going to have some power over you. So one of the best things you can do is replace your false fixes, they're called, with healthy highs. So that would be like anytime that you're thinking of those foods, think of another activity you can do that would stimulate dopamine. And I'll tell you like a list of ideas. So dopamine that substance that comes out when you eat your addictive foods. But it also comes out when you do extreme sports, if you do anything like that, like skiing even, or snowboarding, even hiking in the woods, it comes out. Having intercourse, it comes out. Even just dating, you'll get a lot of dopamine rush. Other things would be like anything new, any novelty, and anything exciting, and learning any kind of new skill elicits dopamine. So like learning how to dance, maybe taking salsa classes, learning how to knit, anything
Cool.
that's challenging for your brain that you've never done before. So what I wish I knew the first time I took HCG that I now know is to replace that false fix right away as fast as possible with a healthy high. And that might look like you take on a whole new project, like maybe it's a project to, for me right now, I'm cleaning out my whole basement. And that's another thing. Decluttering really releases a lot of dopamine. So maybe you'll take on a project to like declutter or to reorganize your kitchen, or maybe reorganize your baking supplies. Or even you could take on a project to like create a community event around like healthy baking or something like that. So it's got to be something that can help you get that same dopamine high. And anytime that you think about these foods, like whatever it is that you can't wait to eat again, it's like you go out and do that thing instead. Like go out for a quick brisk walk, or go do jumping jacks, or go knit, or go work on your community project. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense. And it's so funny that seems to be a solution, because today I went and bought an Italian phrase book, because I'm essentially forcing Jason to take me on vacation in September.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's awesome. So I'm just like, yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll put my energy into something else.
Yes. And a lot of people find that during the protocol, they have their most like efficient period in their career ever, or towards a project. Like you have so much time and energy to put towards something. So you could like become an Italian master in the next 6 weeks if you really pour your heart and soul into it.
Oh man, okay, I'm really excited. And like everything you're saying, I'm just like, okay, like I've always wanted to work on this project for my baking, and now I just have so many ideas. Thank you.
Yeah. What are your top three? Like you're saying, learn Italian is one of them. What else?
Learn Italian. I still have the ukulele that Jason bought me sitting in a corner because I don't understand chords. So I'm going to wait for him to help start me off on that. And then I've had this mini business project, like idea for baking that's been like sitting in my head. And I've always just been like, I don't know. But now I can just do it and see what happens.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, so cool. And something came to mind. Yes, that's what it was. I love that you're going on a trip to Italy, because that was something we spoke about in your discovery calls. You really wanted to do that. And what I would do too, Christine, is start creating your Italy trip. Like make that a real thing. Start creating a Pinterest board with places you want to go, and like restaurants you want to try to eat at, and sites you want to see. And start adding to that. And that's those are really fun little dopamine boosts too, because you can have Pinterest on your phone. And even if you're having like, oh my God, I really want a treat right now, or sugar right now, I just go on my Pinterest and I'll like search for ideas for fixing my basement or fixing my condo up, and post those. So that's a quick distraction to break that false fix.
Cool.
Plus,
oh man, yeah, I'm totally gonna do that. I'm so pumped.
Yeah. So the long-term secret is my nurse Oriole put it, she's like, be in love with people, not food. And I'm still in love with food for sure, but it's like learning to take more of the focus off of those false fixes and put them more onto sustainable things that won't negatively harm your health or your weight or your wellness.
Cool.
Yes, I think that'll be awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you have any more questions, Christine?
I think that's all I've got right now. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, if anything else comes up, definitely let me know throughout the call.
Perfect. Thanks.
No problem. I just want to say we've got a bunch of messages on the chat that I'm seeing pop up that I haven't gone through everything. Let me see. Yeah, Shannon writes, did Talia have a stall with cabbage? And then Talia says cabbage can possibly cause stalls on the protocol, perhaps because of slight constipation. So she's chuckling that that did happen for her. So yeah, it could potentially.
Oh, okay, cool.
Not that it's not great for you. And like I said, you're still burning fat. It's just going to look like your weight is staying the same, either from just like poop being retained or water being retained. Sophia is saying, can we eat broccoli? Yes, you totally can. And then when it comes to how much of an apple you can eat, Sophia, a whole small green apple is totally fine. What else did we see here? Sophia, you sent me some private messages, so I'll respond to those privately too. And then Catherine Kirkpatrick is saying, when on protocol, can we eat salad? The way I read it, you can't mix veggies, so no salad as that is a mix of veggies. And then Shannon says, on 500 calories, your 100 grams of lettuce will only have its protein in it with your ACD and lemon juice and spice dressing. I know that sometimes people will combine 2 veggies rather than sheep. So yeah, that's what I'll say too. It's ideal if you can keep it to 1 veggie per meal, but if you're wanting to spruce it up or if you're getting really bored, you can totally combine it. And 100 grams of lettuce is a lot of lettuce. You can totally try that. So I hope that helps, Catherine. Does that sort of answer that question? Yeah, I'm getting a nod from Catherine. You're so photogenic, by the way, when I see you on webcam. She's nodding. And then Talia's saying, I found that I had cravings for carbs, and after having some brownies at Christmas, I realized I wasn't into them anymore. My body reacted to them differently, and the obsession died right then. So I think Talia was saying that in response to Christine's remarks. And I forgot to mention, that's exactly what I had too. Like, I had marked on the calendar the last, or the, you know, when my phase 3 ended, when maintenance ended, the day after, I had it marked down that I was going to eat cupcakes that day. And it coincided with the opening of my medical office. And I had ordered these vegan, gluten-free cupcakes from Kelly's Bake Shop in Burlington, and I was all ready to go, and I ate them that day. And first off, like normally before HCG, I could probably eat, when we're looking at mini cupcakes, I could probably eat like between 6 and 10. After the HCG protocol, I ate like 1.5, and I felt so full and gross. And it was so sweet that it was like painful. I was like, this is too sweet for me. And they just lost the allure, like Talia said. Like in my head, I created them to be something that they no longer were for me. So that's a very real possibility for a lot of you guys when you get off the HCGs. Those things, they taste almost kind of artificial and too sweet, and you prefer like strawberries or blueberries or apples. So yeah, and then Shannon says, same experience at Christmas, Talia, no desire now. And wow, Talia, I would love to be one of the person who could resist desserts. So yeah, totally. Okay, cool. Do we have anybody else that's joined us? All good. Yeah, so do you guys have any other questions?
It's Shannon. I just have a few comments with Christine, like the whole reframing. It may be drastic, and you don't want to create unhealthy relationships with food either. But I found for me, 4 years ago, making that decision not to do carbs and sugar anymore, with only a week before, not understanding how I could live a life without carbs and sugar. And then you just, the whole reframing, I just started like, okay, would I smoke that cigarette? And I think it's just, if you start to really look at the cause of what these foods do to us, you focus on, yes, that cupcake looks good and there's like sugar and canola oil, and if you start to break it down and say, okay, well, that sugar is going to spike my insulin, I'm going to have a sugar crash, and then I'm going to be looking for more, so if you start to really look at what these foods do to you, you start to look at it like, if a non-smoker, I look at a cigarette and I think, ew, that's poison, I don't want that. You start to, so you have your poisonous. Am I coming through okay? I got some.
Yeah, you're coming through okay, but I'm hearing like a little bit of feedback. I'm not sure when it's coming from. I'm just going to mute the other line so you guys can unmute yourself if you do go to talk.
Okay. Yeah, so what I lost my train there. It'll come back. Choo-choo, choo-choo, or yeah.
Yeah, you're talking about like reframing and seeing if a
Oh, yes,
smoking,
yes.
thinking about toxins.
So it's almost like you just do a little, on paper, you put like poison and, or what's evil or good, whatever labels you want to put. And it's like, of course, heroin, any of those things in that list. And then slowly you start to add to that list. For me, it was wheat products and it was processed sugar, and that started to go into that other category of things I would avoid: canola oil, soybean oil, because those are all inflammatory foods. And so that really helped. And it doesn't happen, it's not an event, it's a process, and it just slowly you start to create this unacceptable list of poisons that you won't put in your body, and then you look for those healthy alternatives. And so it's like I said, it's a process and has been for me, and I'm still doing it. And, even after a protocol like Talia, I was like, I made all these paleo desserts, and Christmas Day was the first day that I was allowed to have starch and sugars. And I had a bite and I was done, and I was almost bummed out because I didn't want it. And it's like I had been lusting over it for the last week, and then it just lost all its shimmer and glitter. And these last 3 weeks, of starting, I started yesterday. Yes, yesterday, day one. And it's like, I can, there's these 3 days of fat loading and I can have whatever I want. And all I want is a steak and tomato.
It's funny, isn't it? I don't know if we lost your sound, Shannon. Did I mute you, or are you all good?
No, I'm done. That's all I wanted to say was that reframing is really huge. And if you can reframe it better when you understand how that food is affecting you, whether negative or.
That's a really good point. Tony Robbins does a lot of that too. Like, Tony Robbins is all about, if there's something you really want to avoid, you have to, in your mind, paint it as something distressing and like painful and associated with not good things. Because then when you create that hardwiring, you're much less likely to go towards it or to think about it. So that's what you're sort of alluding to, Shannon. You're saying, like, what are the bad effects of having those things? And so that might be one way to look at it too. I thought of something just now, but now I totally forgot it. So hopefully it comes back to me. But like, and this is probably not a good example because I don't recommend vegetarianism anymore, but when I went vegetarian for 6 years, what I did to stop missing meat was like paint the negative effects of eating animals, which, I mean, we now know if you're buying ethically sourced meat, there's not really, it's more environmentally friendly to do that than to be vegan, to be honest. But that was just one way that I created that sort of negative connotation around it to reframe it. What else was I going to say about reframing though? I think really it's tying like, and then on the flip side, Tony Robbins talks about the positive, like really hammering home pain versus pleasure. And then the pleasure in this case would be envisioning your beautiful, sexy, sleek, goddess-like body and envisioning how that body needs the right fuel to survive and the right vegetables and fruits and protein. And how the things that we crave that are not good for us, like sugars or alcohols, are going to detract from that beautiful, feminine, healthy body. So that's another way too. Or for you, it might be when I'm in that peak state of health, my pleasure is I get to ski, I get to do downhill skiing, or I get to do belly dancing, or I get to do salsa, or I get to perform so much better at my career. So it's like tying that pleasure to it, and then in your mind realizing that anytime you engage in that thing, it takes away from your pleasure. Like for my food addictions, like sugar, that takes away from my pleasure of living my happiest, most fulfilling life possible. So those are some other ideas too for Christine and for everyone in the group, because I think we all go through a little bit of that. Does that make sense, you guys? Getting some nods on the cams. Cool. Talia, I can see you again. You're home. We followed Talia on her journey on the TTC.
I did the dishes.
What's that?
Oh, I just finished my dishes too. So
oh, nice.
Got a little dopamine rush.
Cleaning up the house.
chewing some gum.
Mhm. I loved your remark today, Talia, about how you went on a date yesterday and you're like feeling so awesome about everything.
Yeah, it's good. I haven't had a good date in like 3 years.
Oh my God. Tell us more about this.
I feel like I can't hear myself talk with the headphones. I don't know, it was a Tinder meet, and it was good. I know what I want now, so it's a little bit clearer when you have a good date. You're like, okay, yeah, you have all like enough of the things to move forward with. Yeah, and then another good thing was I got a text this morning being like, good morning, how are you? I'm like, oh, this is so exciting.
From the guy that you went on the date with?
Yeah. I'm like, aw. You didn't just disappear like most people on Tinder do. Like, it's real. Yeah, so we'll see. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But
that's awesome.
Good.
And that's, talk about a dopamine rush for sure. Anytime that we're forming any kind of new relationship with a new human, even if it's a friendship, there's a lot of dopamine excreted. So that's awesome. And just dating in and of itself, even if you don't date the person more than once, is dopamine. That's great. I think your screen kind of froze, Talia. I'm typing the website. Catherine's asking about gum and stevia. So gum, if you chew it, my mom chewed it a lot on Protocol, and she was hungry nonstop. So there's a note about it in the New Image book too, that they say don't chew gum on Protocol because it'll make you hungrier. So I don't recommend gum because it starts to get your stomach acid. Anytime you chew, it causes the downstream reaction of stomach acid formation because your body thinks you're consuming food. But then when the food never gets there, it leaves you really hungry. So that's one thing. And then, oh yeah, you haven't had gum since you were keto. So yeah, you're used to that. But sweet leaf stevia, for Catherine and who's asking, and for everybody in the group, that is my absolute favorite. It's an award-winning stevia. It's won awards globally for how good it is. Most stevia has a gross aftertaste. A lot of that is based on how the stevia is grown, whether it's organic, that sort of thing. They have really, really good quality stevia. It comes in like over 30 flavors. That's a godsend. So I have like 5 or 6 flavors upstairs in my fridge and cupboard right now. And I love the white bottles. They are very flavorful and they don't require refrigeration. They say that they last about a month because the flavors are natural and very volatile. So it doesn't go bad. It just loses some of the flavor. And then I know Shannon got hers from her doctor, Matt, up in Muskoka area. So yeah, definitely you can check him out too, Catherine, because you see him as well. So you might be able to get that for you. I think we fully lost Talia, so I'm not sure what happened there. But Talia had a super cool remark on the Facebook group today because she was saying she went on a date yesterday, and for the first time she felt really good. Like she went to the washroom during dinner and she was like looking at herself. She felt very confident about how she looked. She felt beautiful, and she was like, that hasn't happened to me for so long. So it's really, really cool when that sort of thing happens. And I really do believe when you up your game in a health way and just create more confidence for yourself, because I don't think it's really about how you actually look. I think it's about how confident you are and how healthy you are. You're more likely to attract somebody, and this is for people who are single, you're more likely to attract somebody who's on your wavelength and your vibrational level. So that makes sense, right? Like if we're working out and being healthy and taking care of ourselves, we're more likely to get along with and attract a guy or a girl who's in that same headspace. And a lot of times too, for those of you in a relationship, if you're not naggy or pushy, your partner will follow suit. If you're doing those sort of things, they get turned on by that and they start to follow, as long as you take the feminine role, which in salsa, as you know, is to step back and let them come to you. So you step back, do your sexy dance, they'll come to you and they'll start to take on more health behaviors as well. But so that's the really cool part about upping your game in the health world. If you're single and looking to mingle, you're more likely to attract a more ideal mate for you if you're upping your health game. Shannon's so funny. So I can't tell my partner that I need to date. Shannon, I think if you want some more dopamine, you guys are going to have to start role playing. You're going to have to meet them at a bar and have alter egos. She's giving me the thumbs up. Cool. And what do you, oh, okay, that's Sophia. I thought that was Shannon. Sophia, you said it's only been 3 days on the very low calorie diet and you've started feeling good again. I know you're just doing the chat because you can't get on the phone, but can you chat a little bit more about that and what you mean by that and what you mean by feeling good again? I'd love to find out. And yeah, Catherine is hopefully starting really soon. So exciting, you guys. I am so excited because today I got out of bed and I loved my body. I was so enthralled with the way my body looked. I've been working out nonstop, like 4 days a week, I shouldn't say nonstop, for almost 5 months now. And finally I saw the body that has been in my mind this whole time. And I was like, oh my God, that's me in the mirror. Holy crap, I'm doing it. I did it. And it's pretty miraculous to see that finally take form. I think that I felt great after doing HCG, but my boyfriend put it the best. He's like, you're thin, but you don't have any shapes. And I was like, what do you mean I don't have any shapes? And he's like, well, your abs, they're just like flat. There's no shapes there. And now I actually have like visible abs and obliques and stuff. So I'm super happy to see that I have shapes. That's my success of the day. But yeah, tell me some more good stuff, you guys. We've got about 10 minutes left. Does anyone else want to share? Talia, I see that you're back. Do you want to share with us the rest of your story? Yeah, unmute. You're unmuted on my end.
Yeah. Hear myself think. Yeah, I don't know, my phone died, but I'm back. I'm on my computer now.
Ah, cool.
So I just came back on and you were talking about how it's more like a mindset and in terms of like how you feel and look and stuff. And yeah, for sure. Like I think it just like I've always been about the body positive kind of movement and really into that and even kind of resist sometimes when my patients come in for purely aesthetic weight loss, especially when it's like a 10 to 15 pound thing. But I don't know, I mean, and so kind of in my head as I'm doing the HCG protocol, because it's really difficult for me to lose weight. And even on this maintenance, like I'm not really losing, like I know some people have dropped like 7 or 10 pounds. And for me, like it's come down maybe 3 or 4 pounds, but it's hard for me to lose weight. And even on the protocol, I had a stall. So it's been really amazing for me to see losses because my body just doesn't like giving up. It's like, I don't know.
Oh my God.
In real life, I don't hoard. I like get rid of stuff all the time, and my body's like, I need everything. So I had this kind of thing in the back of my mind, like, you know, are you gonna like, are you still gonna have the same body image stuff even if you lose that last, you know, 20, 15, 30 pounds? And it actually has shifted like really incredibly, and like has paved the way for changing emotional eating patterns. Like they're in my face now because I don't have the physiological stuff anymore. Yeah, so it's pretty cool to see. It does like play a role in, like I can sit across my patients and from my patients and feel like even this time last year I gained so much weight and I just felt like bloated and heavy and puffy, and like now I don't know, I feel like there's more integrity. Like I feel like I'm just in the body that I always kind of thought I had, but when I'd look in the mirror I'd be like, oh, you're kind of puffier than you conceive yourself to be. And yeah, and just like way better energy, way clearer mind and everything. But yeah, I don't know if that made sense. So yeah, like there is this connection between like confidence and body image and then just like feeling better and having lost the weight. So it's not just purely aesthetic and like, you know, about vanity at all. And so that kind of cleared that up for me for sure. And so I do these videos for marketing and I put them on Facebook. And I got these, like the last one I put, I don't know, I just was reading something and I like uploaded it. And I was getting these texts from a friend. He was like, you look really good, but like, it's because he wanted to lose weight, right? He's like the last couple videos, like a few videos ago, you were like a lot heavier. And someone else commented too, and I was like, yeah. And even looking at the old ones from like a few months ago, I'm just like so much puffier and like sluggish, and you can just tell like the brain fog and like my articulation is slower. So it's cool to see.
It's so interesting when you can have evidence like that too, like objective evidence where you can compare yourself from months ago to now. That's the craziest, I think.
My voice is less damp sounding. Like it would be this like damp kind of voice, and it's changed a little bit.
That's so cool.
So you guys should all take videos of yourself before, during, and after protocol.
Do you know what? I'm actually adding that to the program because this awesome book that I read, it's called The Hunger Fix. So this is all about food addictions. I showed this to you already, Talia. She talks about that. She says at the start of your journey to make a video of you just talking and being like, this is where I'm at, this is why I wanted to make a transformation, and just like let loose, go ham, and say everything that you're sick of dealing with. That's just what you said. She says, do it at the beginning, do it at the middle, and do it again at the end, and you're going to shock yourself when you go back to watch those videos because you're not even going to recognize yourself anymore. So and nothing connects better for most humans than themselves, like seeing and hearing yourself move and talk and all that. That just is so vivid for us. It's cathartic to have those videos at first, and then when you look back at them, it's just like, wow, you can see that evidence firsthand of how far you've come.
It's cool. Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
And the body image thing is a really good topic that you bring up too. When it comes to that, what I've noticed is, like, I look at my boyfriend, and to me, he's always had a fantastic body for a guy. Like, I was looking for a guy with a fantastic body who was also intelligent, and it's hard to find in Toronto.
Well-dressed.
Yeah, like in Toronto, good-looking guys are a dime a dozen, but it's hard to find ones that have integrity and a good career and they're smart. So I found him, and I was like, wow, like great body, but he's never satisfied with the way that he looks, and he's always striving for more. And at a certain point, I thought, is that body dysmorphia for him, like for a man? And I dug into it a little bit deeper because I don't think that it is dysmorphia. Like, he doesn't have an unhealthy desire. Like, he doesn't want to be Arnold Schwarzenegger, but he wants to continuously develop himself. And as I get into bodybuilding more, and I don't mean unnatural bodybuilding, I just mean like gaining muscle for the sake of health. So as I get into that, what's normal is to always want to up your game and set a new goal and achieve new goals and just keep pushing yourself further, not necessarily in your aesthetics, but also in your performance. So it might be like, well, I can lift good weights, but now I want to try an Ironman, or I want to try doing Tough Mudder. So it might be an event or a performance thing. And that within the world of physical activity, that's really normal and healthy to continuously push yourself. And I think when it comes to body image, to a certain degree, there's like a healthy desire to push yourself to achieve more health that might be evidenced through the muscle on your frame and your body fat and your waist circumference. I think then there's like that unhealthy norm where you're pushing it too far and you're too obsessive. But I definitely don't see that in him. But that was something that evolved for me. Like when I came out of HCG, like I said, I was very thin. Even my mom was like, I think you're almost too thin. I felt a little bit too thin. Like I was 19% body fat. And something about it didn't sit right. My period went away for a couple months. But then I started working out, and physical activity scares me because I was diagnosed when I was 5 years old as being not mentally retarded, because that was a diagnosis in 1990. I was diagnosed as physically retarded because that was also a diagnosis back in 1990. So I was diagnosed as physically retarded because at the time I didn't have reflexes. Like if you test my reflexes today, they still register as 0, which is like something that a person with cerebral palsy or multiple sclerosis would have, or some other kind of brain injury. So it's always been perplexing. It's like, why does this girl not have reflexes? Why is she gross motor skills retardant? So it's taken me a lot of effort and work to be physically capable to even do basic movements like catch a ball. I couldn't catch a ball until I was about 10, or kick a ball or throw a ball. So I'm scared of physical activity. I'm clumsy. I look terrible. I can't dance. And going to the gym terrifies me. And it took me hiring a trainer for 10 months to learn how to be comfortable in the gym and comfortable with my body. And so, like, I got out of HCG, I was skinny, I was happy about that, but I didn't have shapes, and I wanted shapes. And I have to say that getting in the gym and creating, like, you know, not just the skinny goal for myself, but wanting to be lean and strong and lean and look like a healthy woman, that's my goal. And I'm getting closer and closer. Well, today was the day that I was like, I look like the way I want to look. I'm so happy. So I think that it's normal body image wise to continuously redefine yourself. And some of it might be a visual goal of how you want to look. And a lot of it might be a performance goal of like how much weight you want to lift or what kind of activity you want to do. But I feel like that's totally, I feel like there's a spectrum and most of it's normal, but then you'll get like a little bit that might be a bit pathological. So we want to protect against that for sure, but it is normal to continuously want to up your game. Yeah. Does that sort of make sense? Cool. There's something you guys didn't know about me. I'm physically retarded. I still can't believe that was the diagnosis back in the day. Cool. Well, I want to ask, is there any other, there's something else too that you said that was really cool, Tali, that I wanted to comment on that I can't remember now. Oh yeah, I made a video on my old Dr. Robinson Facebook group, and I think you were the one mentioning that I should post it to this group about how sometimes I think on a physiological level, we realize that there's something imbalanced. And so it comes through like we're saying, I want to lose weight, but it's not really from an aesthetic place. It's more from like you feel imbalanced internally place. And it's more from recognizing that your hormones are out of alignment. And basically everything that we equate with attraction of the female body is actually signs of proper hormone balance. Like that hourglass figure is considered sexy because the hormones are properly functioning, and that makes for the best fertility. So that's why males are attracted to a waist to hip ratio of 0.8. So the waist is narrow and the hips are larger. So I think there's that at play too. Is like there's something below the aesthetics that our body might be recognizing as imbalanced. But yes, I want to know, does anybody else have any feedback or questions or comments?
Was it Amanda that posted her ultrasound results? I thought that was Amanda, right?
About her PCOS results? Is that what you said?
Yeah. That was pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, I thought that was so cool. I want her to share some more about that. That's really neat. Because PCOS is a mixture of insulin insensitivity and leptin insensitivity. And the HCG protocol corrects both of those. So I remember I told her that
Did we lose Erica?
No, can you hear me?
Okay, there you are.
Yeah, so I was saying PCOS is like a leptin insensitivity and an insulin insensitivity. So the protocol corrects both of those. So I'm so happy for her. Catherine saying, how much water are we supposed to drink? 8 cups at least if you can, Catherine. Someone was saying they're peeing a lot. I think it was Marley. It's normal to pee a lot, and we almost call it like peeing out the fat, because sometimes in the morning you can have a really, really good pee, and then your weight really drops. Part of how it works is your fat cells give up the fat first, but there's still the structure of the cell, and when the fat leaves, water replaces it until the rest of the cell breaks down and flushes out. So when you flush out that excess water, that's when your weight will drop. So it's normal to crave a lot of water on the protocol, so definitely drink at least 8 cups if you can, if not more if you're craving it.
Hi, Erica.
Hi. We got you on the phone.
Yeah, so I'm just actually coming out of doctor's office. So I have a question, and it's about, let me remember what I was about to ask. Okay. So, yeah, it was about, yeah, I told you about my sleeping, that, like I sleep in 2 batches. So, even at night, like I have to go 2 to 3 times to pee, and then in the morning also it's like that for me. Like I do like maybe 6 or 7 times. So I never have like a big one-time pee, a big one. So I have a couple of them. So do you think it's going to help me, or it's going to stall my weight loss?
To drink more water?
I'm drinking more water. I drank, I think I drank 10 and then 4 again. So yeah, I drank 14 cups of water yesterday, and I'm trying to keep that. But the thing is that I'm peeing a lot, but I just want to know that, even at night when I'm like awake for a late night, I go for 3 to 4 times, and in the morning also I go 3 to 4 times.
That's a lot of peeing.
Yeah, and don't count the days.
So, yeah. And so when you're going pee, are you peeing for at least 6 seconds?
Yeah, it's always it's not like a small pee. It's always like for some like few seconds. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So actually, I would time it when you go pee. Make sure you count like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Make sure you hit 6.
Okay.
Because I would almost be wondering if that's a pelvic floor hypersensitivity. Because you shouldn't pee that much.
Yeah, because even when I sneeze, I pee.
A little.
No,
Yeah.
not all the time, but like when I'm like like sneezing a couple of times. So yeah, I do that.
Yeah. Have you ever worked with a pelvic health physiotherapist? Did we lose you, Sophia? I don't know if we lost Sophia.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can. Have you ever a pelvic health physio?
I have actually. I have one time, and the person told me about some exercises I could do. So I did them. So it's not like it's mostly when I'm like I was like when I was sick and I was coughing a lot, so I had to wear literally a pad because I couldn't control.
Yeah. When was the last time you worked with one?
I did what? I'm sorry, I missed you.
When was the last time you saw the pelvic health physio?
Oh, it's been a while. It's been like after the birth of my second child. So now after that I had another one, and that child also is 11 years old.
Okay, so you saw them between 2 pregnancies?
Yeah.
Okay, so you haven't seen them after your latest pregnancy, which was 11 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so I would highly recommend to you. There's ones that work at the World of My Baby are really wonderful. You know where the womb is on Main Street there?
Yeah.
Yeah, because what I would say is, so anytime that you're peeing that frequently, like I even get a little concerned if people have to wake up once a night to pee. It could be excessive water intake for sure, but overall, like I don't like to see people waking up to pee at night, especially if you're saying you're going like 3 times or so. That's a sign that the reflex of your bladder in your spine is tripped out a little bit, and that happens with a pelvic floor hypertonicity, like pelvic floor tightness. So even just seeing the pelvic health physio for 1 more session, it's not just the exercise, like that part's important, but they also do a trigger point release. Because what we see is there's usually a couple trigger points in the pelvic floor that get really, really tight. And they will go in manually with 2 fingers vaginally and release those points. And that can allow your pelvic floor to go back to its normal length, so that your bladder can go back to its normal position.
Okay.
That can really help, especially if you've had a pregnancy since then. They recommend going after every pregnancy, but it's never too late.
Yeah. Okay. I will go and so it's womb, right? You were working there before.
Mm-hmm. There's 3 of them. They're all very wonderful. There's like Dr. Sinead, Jenny, and Robin.
Okay. Okay. So I'll book an appointment as soon as possible.
Yeah, they usually have like a 6-week wait list, but I swear by them. I saw them because I got a bladder prolapse after I had my daughter, and they made a world of a difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, like, you should see that you don't pee when you cough, and you should see that you don't pee at night as much.
I know it's been a nuisance because especially when I cough, whenever I get a cough, it's for a couple of days. Even sometimes I've had for a month.
Yeah.
So that was terrible.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, right now, it's probably not a major nuisance. But the thing is, if we don't correct it and then we hit menopause, then our estrogen declines. And estrogen holds connective tissues in place. So as the estrogen declines, the prolapse, the pelvic floor gets worse. And then you're more likely to need a hysterectomy or need a bladder sling, stuff like that. And a lot of women don't know this, but the number one reason that women get put into old age homes is because of bladder incontinence.
Yeah.
And one way that you can keep yourself independent, it would definitely be seeing a pelvic health physio for like 1 to 3 visits.
Okay. All right.
So I think that would help. But otherwise, I would say try to drink your water away from bedtime if you can. Like, try to drink it, at least stop drinking an hour to 30 minutes before you sleep. Yeah, that should help a little bit.
Okay. But like after I go to the washroom, I feel like quite like yesterday, especially at nighttime, I was like my throat was very dry. I felt like it's totally dry. I had to like drink. I've never felt that way, but I was really thirsty.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at earlier. It's normal to be super thirsty at some points on this protocol. Yeah, because you're replacing fat with water, and then you're flushing it.
Yeah,
that's really common. And try to, like you said to me that you were doing the Vega electrolytes, so that's perfect, and the natural calm magnesium. So keep that up, because that's going to allow the water to actually go into like your muscle cells and the rest of your body, as opposed to just getting peed out all the time. That's really good that you're doing that. So keep with that.
So I'm actually, should I be drinking it the whole day, or because I was drinking at night?
Yeah, I would try drinking it throughout the day if you could. So with the Vega, you can do up to 2 scoops a day spread out into 4 cups of water. So usually I'll take a scoop into a 500 milliliter container. I'll do that twice a day. And with that, you can put 1 teaspoon of natural calm magnesium each time. So I wouldn't go much beyond 2 teaspoons of natural calm a day. It's just too much magnesium.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do that beverage, like that 500 milliliters with one scoop of Vega electrolytes with 1 teaspoon, of magnesium calm. I would do that twice a day.
Okay.
And try to have it, like afternoon maybe, and when you wake up.
Okay, I'll do that then, because I was taking at night, so I think I can change it from tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it does. If you have the natural calm, the 2 teaspoons at night, it can help you sleep a bit better. But in your case, because you're peeing a lot, I would maybe try to move it earlier.
Okay.
I'm reading your comment now. You said that you were feeling your weight was creeping up and you were feeling bloated, but now you're feeling lighter again and more comfortable in your own skin. I love that. And you're only up pounds, so imagine how you'll feel after you've lost a lot again. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been only 3 pounds, but I feel really different person.
Good. You're going to. It's going to be an unreal transformation. Step of the way.
Yeah. Okay, guys, I think I'll have to drop the call because I'm driving a car. So, okay.
Sure.
Bye-bye.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks for joining us, Sophia. We'll talk soon.
Bye.
Bye for now. Oh, cool. Catherine's talking about, should have read that to Sophia while she was still here. Catherine saying she had a similar issue after 3 natural births, ended up having a surgery to have a bladder sling built. Much better now. Yes, so that's definitely an option if it's getting to that point. And then you said, question about oil-free shampoo or conditioners. Where do I get these? And do you know what brands I can get? What did I use? I'm never good at answering this question because I used something random that I found. Shannon, what did you use when it came to oil-free shampoo and conditioners?
Yeah, I was going to talk to Cassandra because she did find something. I ended up using just the glycerin soap for my hair and my body, and then the baby oil for moisturizing. and aloe. But because I'm on a well, and I have a lot of silver, I did do once a week. I did my purple shampoo. So I just did my glycerin shampoo or glycerin bar soap, and I would just rub it in, and I don't need conditioner once I stop dyeing my hair. So that's a non-issue. But I think Cassandra, I was going to find out from Cassandra what she got to help Catherine, because I went around and looked at what we have up here in Muskoka, which isn't a lot sometimes, and I just ended up buying the glycerin bar. I gave up doing all the readings, so I don't know. There's my game.
Yeah, for soap I just use glycerin too. And then Talia says she used commercial stuff. Yeah, like mine was like a Dove, I think. But even shampoos that advertise oils often have no more than a couple drops. I know that Amanda just kept using her same fancy shampoo and it didn't matter. Yeah. Yeah, like, and what I was telling Christine, I think on 2 calls ago, was the more weight you have to lose, the more leptin is in your body and the more sensitive you are to external fats. So it's really, really important to avoid it in your products. If you're like classified as medically obese or something like that, it's less important as you get closer to your goal weight. But if possible, I would look for some kind of like over-the-counter thing with nothing in it if you can. Glycerin-based soap bars are probably like the easiest body wash to use. Yeah, I think I just had something, it was like Dove or Pantene or something I would never normally use. And I think I bought like a little bottle of it, used it up and threw it away. Who's the other person? Jenny Dean would have some good ideas too. And I know Catherine Ann was saying that we should start a file in the Facebook group, which actually I'm going to do that as we chat, to start writing out brands of products that have no oils in them, because I think that's a good idea. Does anyone else, like, what did you use, Talia? You said it was Dove? Or if anybody else has
I had a shea butter body wash that I stopped using, and I just think I don't think I used soap for 6 weeks. But I just, yeah, like I went to and bought whatever was on sale in terms of like Shoppers Drug Mart kind of shampoos, and it happened to be Dove, and I just looked like there's no actual oil in the ingredients. There's stuff like, I don't know, sulfates and whatever other crap in it, and like silicone products and stuff like that. But I don't know. I figured 6 weeks, and then I threw it out.
Yeah, that's what I did. And I used some kind of, it was like an oil-free moisturizer by Neutrogena. Again, it was like something I would never normally use, but.
Yeah, and for face wash, I just used like baking soda. And then I bought, like I usually use a BB cream for makeup, and that's it. And I just switched the BB cream to one that contained all synthetic ingredients, which is not oil. So that was my strategy. Yeah.
I know, those are like our most naturopathic moments of life.
Yeah. I'm putting like gasoline on my face.
Oh, God. Oh, mineral oil, you guys, and Vaseline. You just said gasoline, and I thought it's not gasoline. It's a petroleum byproduct, which means it does come from like crude oil extractives. I always call it dead dinosaur oil. It's like that old.
It's natural, yeah.
It's natural. It's
paleo, dug up bone.
Do you like how we just created that like logic? It's like that meme where it's like, oh, I had fruits for dinner, I had salad, yeah, but they were fermented. Yeah, I had wine for dinner.
Yeah, it was grapes, it was wine. Yeah.
We just did that. Mineral oil is fine. Your body does not absorb it like a food oil. So that was what I used. Like I would actually make a scrub with mineral oil and sea salt and scrub that all over my skin on the protocol. It locks in a lot of moisture. And then I know quite a few women would use that on their faces or on their lips, because the Vaseline, you won't absorb it as a food type of oil. So Vaseline and glycerin are fine, and mineral oil, but not castor oil or any other type of plant or animal oils. Yeah. And yeah, what you could do, Catherine, glycerin soap is okay, but what you could do is post a picture like Talia just said on the Facebook group, and then I can look at it and just give you the thumbs up. And I just created a file in the Facebook group, so if you guys see yourself tagged there, feel free to just like add your ideas into there.
Thanks, Erica. That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
I'll take a picture of my ingredients and send it to you.
Yeah, perfect. And then, yeah, makeup, face stuff is pretty easy to find oil-free because that's a big demand in that industry. But it's like you say, it's like the shampoo and the conditioner is tougher to find.
What about eyeshadows or eyeliners?
Those are typically fine. Like mascara, eyeliner, eyeshadow is all typically fine. Like I don't think
I've found oil-free foundation, so that's all good.
Yeah, like that's pretty easy.
The other ones are harder to find. They don't like to list it.
I know. Or you have to read this like fine print with a magnifying glass. There's like 70 ingredients in there.
Carry those in my back pocket.
I dig your tattoo, Catherine. What does it say?
This one?
Yeah.
It has it says Tyler 1988 or 88, Mallory 91, and Joshua 96.
Nice.
3 children.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a sensitive area to get tattooed.
Yeah, it was a bit painful on the backside.
Yeah, like all those tendons and the bones.
I have another one on my Achilles. It hurt more.
Oh God. Okay, so that's cool. So you're awaiting your HCG, right? You got the phone thing got fixed, or you found a way to find out?
I've got it temporarily fixed. I wait till when I get off the call, I'm going to see if it's totally toast or not. The other one.
What did you do? Did you put it in rice or something?
I did. I got all the water as much as I could on my own out, and then I put it in rice for 48 hours.
Okay, fingers crossed. But either way, TELUS gave you like some kind of replacement so you could get text on it?
Actually, I had an old iPhone, so they told me to go get something from the source. It allows you to go from a nano to micro.
Oh,
and
nice.
so I could put my SIM card in that. And so my SIM card from the one that's wet got to go into the smaller or the other phone. So hopefully the other one will work and then I can just put it back in. But if it doesn't, I have Apple Care. I can get a new one for $100. It's just, I didn't realize it would only cost me $100 to replace it. So I was a little freaky at first, but
yeah.
It's all good now. I've had my 3 bad things for now 2017 have already happened. So I'm good for the rest of the year.
They're done. They're out of the way. Okay, good. I know they always happen in 3s.
Mm-hmm.
The worst.
Yeah, I was just glad to get them out of the way now. So the rest of the year is just clear sailing.
Smooth sailing. I love it. Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's been something funky in the air. I don't know what's been up these past couple of days, but some weird stuff's been happening over here too. I don't know if you guys are getting that vibe as well. I called a couple of, I called like QuickBooks Online, and I called some other company. I can't remember who. And like the reps were so angry on the phone. Like the minute they answered, I was like, whoa, there's something weird going on today. Everybody's kind of on edge.
It's not even a full moon.
It's not, is it? It's supposed to be soon though, right?
I don't think it's till the end of the month.
Oh, wow.
Not sure.
Oh, man.
But hey, we just had 3 snow days in a row up here, so.
Yeah, Shannon was telling me.
And we still don't have nice weather yet. Still supposed to be snow squall warnings.
Oh, it was the full moon yesterday.
Oh, was it?
It was
Maybe that's
January
what it
11th.
is. Maybe that's what
it
it
is too. Crazy. And yeah, I heard you guys had those 3 snow days in a row. So that's pretty crazy.
So my HCG is supposed to come tomorrow, so I want to start on Saturday.
Woo! That's exciting. Okay, good. Fat loading over the weekend is the best. That's awesome. Yeah.
It's kind of like your do or die weekend.
What's that?
It's like your do or die weekend. You get to do it so you can die later.
Totally. That's so exciting. And I saw that there's another email from you that I haven't fully read yet, Catherine, but does it, like, if you start tomorrow, will it allow you to go into your vacation okay in March?
I was counting out the days, and it will put me a 14 of maintenance the day I leave for my trip.
Daily. Okay, so you'll be like, that'll be week 3 while you're on your trip.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, we can talk about some strategies that you can employ while you go.
I sure hope so.
I mean, so you could do 2 things. Like, you could totally wait until you get back to do it and just really prep yourself in the meantime. That's what Sophia did. Like, she joined end of October and she's just starting now. So that's one possibility. But if you're like, I want to go on vacation.
Nope, that's not a possibility for me.
Okay, cool. You want that dream body for vacation, right?
Remember what I said? That I gotta have the evening dress and the.
Yes. We need pictures of that, by the way. I'm counting on that.
Okay.
We're going to see pictures of Catherine looking like a babe in her evening wear and her new bikini for her cruise. I can't wait.
Yeah, but I want to after this protocol.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll talk about, so some things off the top of my head will be like, well, steak days are amazing. You can totally enjoy your vacation too while having protocol-esque foods. But I think what we'll have to do is maybe me and Shannon will give you some like more directed tips when you're actually away of what to do. And if you do have indulgences over that week, I would insert a steak day afterwards if you can. And then stuff like, what's that?
Steak's not a problem. Love it.
That's what I mean. Like for me, I love steak. I think it's like such a good healthy food, and you feel like you're really having a treat. So that's what I did. Because I had my 1-year anniversary over the protocol. I had like 2 weddings, so I would always just have steak at those events. That's one way that we'll do it. We'll look at some other things too, like even skipping breakfast and just having lunch and dinner while you're on your trip. Or, you know, if you have breakfast, that's fine too, but maybe focusing more around fats and proteins and a little bit less around the carbs. Still having enjoyable foods. To be honest with you,
maybe just eat keto while I was away.
Yeah, if you can just eat keto, you would be golden. So, because Dr. Simeon's only real restriction that he said while on those 3 weeks of maintenance is to avoid sugar and starch. If you do have it, like for some people it has happened, it wasn't the end of the world. We got through it. But if you can mostly focus on avoiding those things, that's the only 2 major keys. Does that make sense?
Yep. That screws up my drink package, but we'll figure it out.
But you know what? He said having alcohol was fine. So I would just avoid like super sugary drinks and instead go for like a gin and tonic or red or white wine, like a vodka soda, that type of thing.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah, like have those more elegant drinks as opposed to like the really sugary like pina colada type things.
Yeah, they make me sick. They make me feel
Yeah.
anyway.
I was gonna say those things make me feel nasty anyways. I find it's like
same here.
sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say gin and tonic, tequila is fine with like lemon or lime juice. Those sorts of straight up hard liquors, and you're gonna notice that you will not need as much as you did before to feel inebriated. So go easy.
God, maybe I shouldn't have the drink package. Just buy 1 drink. I'll be good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember somebody was like, I think it was Tanya. She was like, "Oh my God, I had a glass of wine and I felt so drunk." And I was like, "Well, you weigh like 30 pounds less, of course."
Well, if I can weigh 30 pounds less when I go on my trip, I'll be very happy.
Yes. I can't wait. So I'm expecting pictures from Catherine on her trip. We're expecting pictures from Laura in her Valentine's outfit or something similar, like a really cute dress that she's gonna get. Who else do we have on the call here? Talia, we need some pics of you. We've got pics of Shannon on the thing. What are you gonna post, Talia?
Oh wait, for what? This is a new thing?
Like your success photo. Well, you did post it before.
Yeah, I posted like a naked one.
Yeah, that was pretty ballsy. That's true.
Have like a halfway point one, kind of.
True. Do you have something you want to post after your next round? Like, is there like something you want to go shopping for to wear, or something you're excited to be able to put on?
Well, I only have 1 pair of jeans right now because all of my jeans fell apart at the same time, and so I'm like not investing in them until it's all over.
Mm-hmm.
But
maybe a picture of
I've always been a I've never been lower than a size 8, and I was trying on so I like the American Eagle high-rise jeggings because I'm 14 at heart, and I'm a size 6 in those now. So that's pretty
Nice.
good. Yeah.
Awesome.
But it's a tight 6, so maybe at the end of the second round, it'll be like a good fit.
A good fitted 6. Okay, so that'll be your success
And
photo.
I bought a new bathing suit. And so, and I'm
Nice.
going to Mexico in mid-February, so it's not after the second round, but I'm still new. Like I'm in a lower weight than I've been in like I don't know how long. Like I think I was 18 when I weighed this much.
Wow.
Which isn't like a real comparison because 18-year-olds can weigh whatever. So yeah, it's crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so jean pick for Talia.
Yeah.
I love it. And then Shannon, I want to know too, Shannon, you have a few things on the page that you want to fit into, but is there like an ultimate thing that you want to take a picture in? Shannon.
Yeah, I don't know if I have. Oh yeah, I do have something. I have this like kick-ass dress. I don't know where I'd wear it, so that would be one thing. But it's a dress I bought. Gosh, I've been here 11 years, so it's a dress I bought about 12 years ago that I wore once, and I forget the name of the store, but I bought it in Yorkdale, and it was like a $500 evening gown, and it's sparkly and it's black and then goes down into like a Spider-Man red. Anyway, I'll post a picture of the dress and then and at the end of the 6 weeks with my butt in it. There we go.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I love that. That's a good one. I know I have like dresses like that too we should just throw a party. If any of you guys could get to Oakville, we could throw a party at my office and just masquerade around our expensive dresses that we have nowhere else to go in. We'll get some really like nice champagne, or for those who aren't drinking champagne, some Zevia, and have a formal affair. Cool. Well, I want us to acknowledge it's 8:32, and I'm going to end the call if you guys are okay with that. If you guys don't have any more questions. What else do I want to say? Make your own formal affair. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Catherine. Like, why don't we just get together? My office is in the heart of downtown Oakville, which is a like really snazzy. Oakville is a crazy town, but it's like the snazziest town in the GTA. So we can just look out of my giant floor-to-ceiling windows at the downtown core and wear our evening dresses and sip on champagne or Zevia. Yeah, so that's it for me for tonight. Do you guys have any last minute burning cues or comments or anything like that before we close up? I love that. Catherine and I will carpool, says Shannon. No, we will take a limo. All the way from like the Muskoka region, right? So funny. Okay, cool. And then Laura, I just want to say we didn't hear a lot from you. We got a couple messages in the chat. So if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the chat. Otherwise, for Laura and for everyone else, if you have any questions over the weekend, please feel free to email them, post them to the Facebook group, send them to us over Facebook Messenger, whatever works for you. And yeah, that's it for now. So thanks you guys so much for joining us for tonight. I'm excited to go and see my little gal upstairs and eat some more dark chocolate and eat some dinner. We're having like chicken and mushrooms, which is really delish. And that's it. That's it. That's all. So yes, good night, everybody. It's been such a pleasure to be here and to see your lovely faces on the webcam. Yeah, glad to have you on, Catherine. Glad to have you meet everybody. And we shall chat again on Tuesday. So for anybody that's available, we'll have another Q&A call on Tuesday at noon and then again on Thursday at 7 p.m. Have an awesome evening, you guys. Bye for now.